Hello there. Is my camera off? I think we're okay. Welcome. Who we got? Ruster, Willow, Shadow, Ninja, Actua, Akbar. Welcome. Carl Franz is looking fabulous. How dare you? He's just looking a little smug. Okay. A little multiplayer, as always. We are on the normal version of the game, not the Cav beta. I figure it's probably better to have the fixed bugs than the fixed Cav. Because, you know, not charging your Cav into infantry is easy enough. For now. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, it'll be sorted. Why do I feel like I can smell burning? Let me just check my house isn't on fire. It smells like a barbecue or something, but, you know, better be sure. Okay, house seemingly not on fire. It's probably E-Ledge. E-Ledge is on his way. That's all you get is the smell of smoke. Okay, this is the room name, this is the password. Anyone that wishes to join, go for it. Welcome Ryan, Imperialist, Artyom. Welcome. It's weird, I could only smell it here. I went to the window, couldn't smell it. Went to the door, couldn't smell it. Am I on fire? My PC on fire? My webcam on fire? If you see any flames flickering from below at any point, do let me know. Get yourself a cup of coffee. I've got some goblin juice. We got the Willow Man. Maybe we can get 4 for a free-for-all. Anyone welcome to join? Artyom arrives. Password is Raccoon Hat. Not Raccoon on Hat. Raccoon has 2 C's as well, I think. Hopefully I spelt it right. Otherwise that's going to make things awkward. Akbar's got it. Ruster's found his way in. One more. Who we got? Who fancies their chances? Play whichever factions you like. We'll go for Troll Country. Unit caps. 20 mins. You gonna get smashed by Willow? Nah. Easy. Easy, man. Let's play Bretonia. Can't win his Bretonia unless you're me. Apparently. One more. Who we got? Anybody welcome? Doesn't matter if you're a noob, just get in and have a go. With free-for-alls, honestly, anybody can win. Because they can sometimes just go that way. Are we doing team battle today? Yeah, probably. We'll do some 2v2s, probably not 3v3s. They're usually a little messy. One more. So we're still quiet on the Warhammer 3 news front. But hopefully we'll get something soon. We'll get some kind of info. Soon, TM. Welcome, Charles. I wonder how the domination game mode's going to be. I wonder if it's going to be like a lot of points or just 1 point to fight. No, it can't be 1 point. It must be like 2 or 3 points to find over. I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure how that's going to work. Welcome, White Wolf. Should Volkmar be a legendary hero because he starts the same as Karl? No. There could be 2 champs in Altdorf. There's room enough for 2. Nobody else? Nobody else? One more person. Is the domination multiplayer against the AI or each other? I would assume each other. I think the, what do you call them? The survival battles. Those are co-op versus the AI. And that's all you can do. But I believe domination is just a multiplayer game mode, so I imagine it'll be like this. Maybe like free-for-all. 4 players. Playing on Cavalry Beta? No. Playing on the live version. So the bugs are fixed, but we don't have the better Cav. Maybe join us. I'd have to remake the lobby. I will do if nobody else joins, but just a bit of a pain. I probably should at the first game because the stream's still waking up. Yeah, but more hoping for all the changes and stuff. Like I said about hiding factions before you choose yours and stuff like that. Stop counterpicking. Put in a better unit caps thing. More map information. All this stuff would be super useful. Whether we'll get any of it, who knows? Who freaking knows? Nobody else want to jump in? Last spot. Password is Raccoon Hat. Raccoon Hat. As Willow typed just now. Oh, is there no multiplayer for the beta or just buggy? The bugs that were a problem last patch are still in the Cavalry beta, but the Cav is fixed, apparently. But if you play the live version now, which has been patched, you won't have the Cav fixes, obviously, but you will have those bugs fixed. Which is why we're playing on it. Because it's probably more important to have the bugs fixed than the Cav fixed. Because at least with the Cav fix, you can kind of avoid them. Or you can avoid the problem of Cav being rubbish at getting charged. Anyway, Akbar's arrived. Go on, son. Here he comes. How much of an effect does the Cav beta change Cav? They're better. I haven't really played enough to know how much better, but it certainly makes Cav more viable than it used to be. So that's good. But I don't really know what else you could do, because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's better, but it's not enough. But it's like, well, what more can you do? Otherwise, you're going to start to push them into the OP territory. Akbar with the counter pick. He's just a smart strategic player, that's all. You don't know about Akbar's plans. Bringing the dwarfs into a free-for-all. We normally don't allow it, but we'll let him go for it. We'll let him give it a go. We let him go every now and again. Just to see if it is... I mean, maybe with runes and stuff, they won't be so bad now. Give Akbar a minute, as he was a late joiner. This is a fairly open map, so it's a good one for Willow and Bretonia Cav. Could be some serious artillery on the field, though. We shall see. Here we go. I'm ready for some new factions, though, man. We've been playing these factions a long time. I'm ready for some Kislev. I'm ready for some Cathay, whatever they may be. And of course, all the chaos. Nope, unit caps is turned on. It's always turned on. He has 5 organ guns. Good luck to yourself. Bailey Naylor. Love the videos, brother. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Which is your favorite chaos god? I'm probably a Khorne man. Because I don't really like magic. And he doesn't like magic. So, you know, we've got that in common. I really feel the connection between me and Khorne there. In our hatred of magic. So, that's good. And, you know, aggressive factions tend to be my thing. But I'm looking forward to Kislev, I think, more than anything. But maybe Cathay, depending on what they do with them. We shall see. Welcome, Catalyst. What are we up to? We're about to see 3 people beat Willow up in a free-for-all. Okay. Got Willow as Bretonia. Let's see where everyone is. So Chaos is here. Next to Bretonia. Rust are playing the Chaos. Willow is Bretonia. Akbar rocking their dwarfs. Uh-oh. Oh dear. He's done it. He's gone for the Slayer army. Akbar not messing around. And Tomb Kings for Artyom. It's like a fairly standard Tomb Kings affair. Got some chariots. Nurgle. Yeah, Nurgle seems to be the popular choice. I think Nurgle's probably most popular. Maybe Khorne. Tzeentch and Slanesh don't get so much love, it seems. Do you think Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Fantasy is in the same universe? No. Let's see what Akbar can do. He's going to get some slaying done. What's Willow got? Bunch of peasants. Naturally. Foot Squires, Fae. Got some Hippogriffs. Got a Trebuchet. Got some Foot Squires. A few Archers. Chaos. Chaos Warriors. Mirror Guard. Got the Soul of Damnation. Some Skirmish Cav. Sigva. Oh no. Archaon. Thought he was on foot then for a second. He's not. Tomb Kings, like I said. Pretty standard stuff. Gotta be careful of that line of death, though. Little burning head through there. Not a worry from the dwarfs, but maybe from the Chaos Archaon on the field, that could happen. Willow's got the Fae. Probably no wind spells there. Welcome, Marshall. There are some crossover elements. Yeah, I know there's a lot of the same stuff, but I don't think it's like Warhammer Fantasy is just like the medieval ages of Warhammer 40k, you know? And then eventually they went on to build spaceships and then, you know, Space Marines and everything. I don't think that happened, did it? I don't know. I don't think so. We're underway anyway. Let's see what's going on. Akbar bringing his Slayers to slay the undead. Willow going to slay the Chaos with his French. Got some Pegasus Knights. feel like you don't see those too often. Soul of Damnation. Hits a tree. Willow saved by his friends. Saved by his tree brothers. I think Willow has an unfair advantage using the trees as allies. It's like Lord of the Rings. Pegasus Knights. Ooh, they're going to take care of that cav pretty quick. They are anti-large. Hippogriffs coming in, wrecking the cheap infantry. Gonna put some damage on them. He is protecting the Soul of Damnation with some halberds. Akbar still approaching, using his gyrocopters. Oh, in comes the bombing run. Just the one? Oh, no, there we go. Oh, that is nice damage. Oh, that's Tomb Guard as well, damn. Damn that bomber. That's the Sky Bomber, Sky Hammer. Get those Kepra Guard, man. They're the ones you need. I think he's going for him. Here he goes. Oh. Oh, no. Nasty. Nasty bombs from Akbar. Surprised Artyom isn't trying to shoot that thing down. He's got all the tools to. Well, he's got some archers. Not really great, but they could still take it down. Willow coming in with the cav, taking care of the Chaos Cav. Little burning head coming through, maybe hits a few archers. Oh, does some nice work on those archers there. Probably going to rout those. But his infantry hasn't been up to much. Willow's still got his strong flyers in good health. The Slayers coming in for Akbar. Oh, they're going to meet chariots. They're going to eat those up. How much damage is that Sky Hammer done? It's broken now. Maybe it ran out of bombs, but it got 183 kills and 2,000 damage. It's pretty nice. I'm not sure why he just left it sat there. He could have gone into melee at least with the archers or something. Guess it was just a micro error. Dwarf Bomber is powerful. He is pretty expensive, that thing, but it did some good work there. Although, to be honest, maybe saving... I feel like saving that Sky Bomber ammo for the late game would be huge in a free-for-all. If you get like the enemy all blobbed up and you come and drop those bombs on them, that's game over. Possibly. Looks like he's trying to get after Archaon here. Lost my mouse. There we go. Where's the Fae? Is she still alive? Oh yeah, she's still in there. She's okay. Willow. Lost a few bits, but nothing too major. Still got his strong flyers, which in free-for-alls is very often the game winner. At least that's how I usually win when I play Pretonia in free-for-alls. It's the only people I can win free-for-alls with. Little blob. Oh, little Runerath the Ruin coming in there. Akbar bringing it all out. It's not looking good for the Toomies. Akbar taking the lead in points as well. Willow at the bottom. Surprising, seeing as he seems to be taking care of most of the Chaos. I guess he's got a lot of cheap infantry. No, he's got Chaos Warriors. And some Chosen great weapons. Oh, the Fae taking a bit of a pounding, actually. She's down to half health. Archaon as well, down to half health. Used to be the end times, implied that it was. Yeah, no, I don't know if they're linked. I would assume not. But I mean, like 40k lore is just quite vast and all over the place, isn't it? From what I understand. Good old Thorek. Akbar leading the way in this one. Last week you told me not to turtle with dwarves. Thanks. I've been playing lizardmen and I've been enjoying them a lot more than dwarves. Good stuff, man. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I think it's just the natural choice for a new player at multiplayer to just turtle up and feel safe and comfortable playing that way, but really it doesn't do that much for you. Even if you win doing that, it's only because you've beaten someone who's also kind of new to the game, because any experienced player will know how to deal with that. And so it only really works against noobs, which doesn't really get you anywhere in terms of learning anything. But yeah, playing someone like the Lizard Man, who have a lot more choices, you'll learn a lot more. Ooh, big spell coming in. Willow still got his hippogriffs, just and just. Chaos for Rust. He's still got a few bits left, still got his Soul of Damnation. Still got half its ammo left, so that could be pretty big into the late game. He is second on the score. Akbar, though, has completely mopped up the Tomb Kings at this point. And he's still got a fair bit of stuff left, still got his Lord in good health. A lot of his Slayers are pretty beaten down, though, so he's not actually going to have as much as it might look like. Of course, they are unbreakable, though, so he has that advantage. But if he gets over there quick and starts taking some of these points away from Ruster and Willow, because those are his biggest two competitors, Artyom's obviously pretty much done for, as Tomb Kings disintegrate away. Only the Lord remains. How much damage is this bad boy doing? Got 95 kills, only 900 damage. I guess there's not a lot of great targets against Bretonnia. A lot of cheap infantry and stuff. Willow's got his trebuchet though. Maybe that's done a little more. That's Archaon. Only 700 for the field trebuchet. Not bad, but nothing special. Oh, Solar Damnation. Oh, I think he was trying to hit the Lord there, and he did. He capped Cetra. Willow going to come in and finish him off. 119 health for Cetra. Down he goes. Our team goes down. Good game, my man. Good effort. He got 8,000 points. Respectable. So now the game is on. It's really anybody's game, I think. Anybody could win this. They've all got a reasonable amount of stuff left. I mean, Akbar might be able to chill out and just try to go for the last man standing bonus. I don't know. Let these two beat each other down and then finish off whoever's left and get that last man standing bonus. Unless they get a lot of points, he should be able to get away with that. I don't know. There is a bit of tactics involved with free-for-alls sometimes. War for Warhammer Universes is pretty flexible and changes. What do you think would happen if 40k factions met fantasy counterpart? Well, they'd all be killed. Space Marines alone would kill everything in Warhammer Fantasy. A few bombs on the Slayers. Slayers just walk into the party, are they? Some of them are. Just taking a casual stroll. Welcome, Dame. Question. Shoot. Shoot, my boy. Willow losing some of his strong flyers. Oh, they're close to the map as well. They are pretty beaten up though, so even if they don't, even if they did come back, they probably wouldn't be doing a lot. Still got his Fae though. Maybe he wants to keep his Lord a little bit closer to them to help them stay in the fight with a little extra leadership. Willow still got his trebuchet with maybe one shot left. Looking good for Akbar. Willow the main threat, although Ruster not far behind either. But both of them don't really have much left. And Akbar has still got his full health Lord and Hero. I think even if he didn't have the Slayers, he'd still probably be able to win this with those two. There's really not a lot left now of Willow and Chaos. Or Rasta. Who is the Lord that Akbar is using? It's good old Thorek. On his anvil. Sure what runes he had. So yeah, the Rune of Speed, probably good for those Slayers. Rune of Wrath and Ruin, Rune of Oath and Steel, and Rune of Doom. A nice selection, all useful. Akbar now just going to finish everybody off. And he's probably going to do it. Unless Willow can perform some kind of character assassination here. I'm new to Warhammer 2 and your vids have been super helpful. Glad you enjoy it, my man. Glad I could help. It's cool. There must be a kind of a lot to get through. If you're new to Warhammer 2, there's kind of a lot now at this point. With all the DLCs and stuff, there's a lot to get your head around. And with Warhammer 3 coming as well. Probably a good time to get into it though before Warhammer 3 arrives. Oh, little spell coming in. A little Rune of Wrath and Ruin. How did I know your voice sounds like that? I know everybody's voice, man. I always read chat messages and people's actual voice. Looks like Akbar's going to do it. The phase going down. Well played. The Slayer army showing its power. Oh, Faye just did a faceplant. She's down. The Slayers will eat well tonight. Willow's not giving up yet, though. He believes his trebuchet men have got what it takes. No, they've given up. Good game, fellas. Password is Raccoon Hat. Welcome out, by the way. Do you need all the DLC to be competitive online? Nah, not at all. Just find the factions that you like and maybe buy their DLCs. And then over time you can buy the rest if you want to. But just find like 2 or 3 factions that you like to play. Buy the DLCs for those. And then you're all good. Charles, dropping me donations. Thank you, sir, for your 20 Gs. Don't know why it didn't come up. I guess it's the PayPal thing, and not a what do you call it? Super chat. Akbar. Let's have a look at those kills. How are we looking? It's like a fairly. Oh, a lot of work from the Giant Slayers. Even got some work out of gyrocopters. Of course, that bomber did some nice work early. Nice play, Akbar. Well played. Good win. Willow got some work from the Fae. Couldn't get his missiles going. Most of the work done by his flyers. Pegasus Knights, 3,000. Very nice. 2,000-ish from both the Hippogriffs. And a little bit from the Field Trebuchet. Ruster Archaon 3,000, very nice. Some of the infantry doing work. Some underperforming. The Chosen, though, getting a lot done. Nearly 3,000 for them. Skirmish Cav got taken out early. And the Soul of Damnation did okay. Probably could have done a bit more for its price. It is an expensive piece of kit. And Artyom got some work with Cetra, but a lot of his troops got bombed early, so he didn't really get a chance to do much there. That Slayer army was pretty savage. Got some work from the Ushabti Great Bows. If only he'd shot that bomber a little bit earlier, he might have been able to get it. Good game, fellas. That was a fun one. The Dwarf Slayer army. Who knew? Who knew it could be so deadly? I've been online for about a month now, starting to get some success with, defensive playstyle. What other faction would you recommend to play that is entirely different playstyle? What is the faction you play with your defensive playstyle? Welcome, Lycus. Okay, maybe we could get a 2v2. Maybe we could do a noob and a pro on each side thing. If we'll let Willow stay in, even though he just played. Oh, we got Potato, actually. Maybe he could switch out for Potato. We could get a couple of noobs in. Oh, here's one noob. Don't know this guy. What we could do... Okay, actually, let's stay with this. Have we got one more better player who regards himself as a better player? Because we got 3 good players here: Willow, Outer, and Potato. Rusta, I think, is quite new. I think. So if we could get another good player, we could even it out. I wanted to play vampire counts, but man, they're hard to work out. Really? Vampire counts are pretty simple. You just bog everything down with your infantry and then kill everything with all your expensive stuff. Blood Knights, Terrorgeists, Lord, yada yada. You've been playing dwarves, okay. I would say like a versatile faction where you have a lot of options is probably good to learn, like the Greenskins or the Lizardmen. I think Chaos are quite fun. I guess some factions are just kind of one-dimensional and quite simple. I think the Chaos is one of those. The Vampire Counts is one of those. Whereas someone like the Greenskins and the Lizardmen do have a lot. So it depends. Yeah, it depends how you want to take it, I suppose. If you like having a lot of options and figuring stuff out and figuring out new and different ways to try things, those 2 factions are good. But if you want just a pretty almost one-dimensional faction, but is good at the job, like the Vampire Counts, or even like Norska can be alright. I'm just going to put you in the background, painting 40k. Why not? Hear me moan about elves and stuff. You're kind of new to the multiplayer scene. What is the password? Raccoon hat. Okay, Rusta, I'm going to give you the boot for now. Thanks for playing. So we need a better player. If anyone is a better player, now is the time. We can get a 2v2 going. On... How about Stir River? This will be a little more interesting because it's one of those maps with like a big thing in the middle, so it won't be quite so straightforward. Have a little bit of a fun map. You might want to think about your factions a little more for this one, though. Any better players? Any better players? Yeah, choose whichever faction you like. I don't have a wheel or anything ready at the moment. Go nutso. Sonath, you consider yourself able to keep up? Welcome, dingers. I think I can hold my own. Well, we'll cycle people around anyway. Try to let everyone play that wants to play. Right, we'll go with this. So we got greenskins and dwarfs, vampires and chaos. Yeah, I think greenskins, lizardmen, even Empire, although Empire are a little harder to play perhaps. Those are good factions to kind of get used to and to learn with, because they can play kind of traditional Total War more so than some other factions. Just like having an aggressive army with a front line and cav on the flanks and missiles behind. You can learn kind of the basics of all that. I guess vampires are probably quite a good one for learning. Because the playstyle is kind of simple, and their magic can be kind of simple, and it's a good place to learn to remember to use magic. All you need to do is use healing on your important units and spawn up some zombies every now and again. That's it. Don't really need to do anything more than that. And so you can get the practice of using up magic and putting it in the right places and things like that. And then just using zombies and Graveguard to pin things down, skeletons even. And then just working down the stronger enemy units with your Blood Knights, your Terrorgeists, your Vargolfs, your Lord, whatever. Your heroes. So we'll see what kind of approach these two teams take. Because we got one kind of potentially more rushy faction with a defensive faction. But they could play, Greenskins could play defensive. And then we got two rush factions. Let's find out. We're on Stir River though, so it's got these big little mountain bits in the way. Little hilly bits. Some rock faces to traverse. I think it's a big enough map. Should be okay. For 2v2. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's a pretty big deployment zone, I think. Maybe, maybe not. If only we had a list of maps. I mean, no one's taking the time. No one's taking the time to make a list of maps with pictures, have they? So what can we do? Like us, what can we do? Someone would get off their ass and do it. God. Yeah, it's alright. You can get two armies in here. It's a little cozy. I hope with Warhammer 3 we get some big maps. Like, this map would be cool if it was maybe like twice the size. Like if you could just come out much wider. Just give us some more room. Does this have cav fix? No, we're playing on the normal live version, so this is the one that has the bugs fixed but doesn't have the cav fix. Let's have a look at some armies. So Willow as the vampires coming out with Manfred, Vargeists, Black Knights, Bats, Zumbos, Graveguard, Corpse Cart, more Black Knights, Chaos. Coming with the Chosen, with the greatest of weapons, Sarthariel. A lot of armor piercing going after those dwarfs, most likely. Manticore, Soul of Damnation on the field. Greenskins, lots of skirmish. Orc Boys, Trolls. Grommo, River Hag. For the dwarfs, Dwarf Warriors, Miners, Missiles, Slayers, pretty much usual dwarfs. Let's hang out over here while they deploy. The problem is maneuvering. That's why I kind of like these maps though, because it makes people, well, it should make them think about, okay, this map isn't going to be great for maneuvering. I should not bring too much cavalry. I should bring more elite infantry or artillery. Or maybe I should try and use this little platform and sit some missile units up here where they won't be easily got. So you got to think a little more. Where you might normally want to bring a bunch of cav playing as chaos, or maybe not chaos, maybe vampires. Maybe you want to opt for more monsters instead. Got to use your little brain powers. Soul of Damnation popping off. Aiming at some dwarf warriors. Hit some well, get some gobos in there as well. Still going for those dwarf warriors. Are they going to try and take the hill? So this is where the slight problem, as I said, playing greenskins, who are generally a rush faction. If greenskins decide to rush, but dwarfs decide to stay put, then that could leave the greenskins in a 2v1, which won't be good for them. Whereas the vampires and chaos, they're both rush, so they know they're both going to go forward. Greenskins got to be careful. Soul of Damnation trying to crack some shots. A lot of flyers around patrolling the right side. A lot of skirmish cav waiting though. What spells is Willow bringing to the table? Invocation, Purple Sun. Raised Dead, of course. If only you had a breath attack them, greenskins were quite lined up. Willow trying to push the cav, gets a hold of them a little bit. Gets a hold of a few spider riders. Some melee spider riders coming to the rescue. A Fate of Buna on them. Is that Azag? No, it was Grom. Oh, it's the River Hag. Fate of Yuna, probably a bit of a waste on Black Knights. They're not that expensive. Probably get more value dropping that on the Vargeists, maybe. Or Manfred. Manfred getting in there, though. Trying to get after old Grommo. He's got some spider riders on him, though, so that's going to make it harder for him to escape, as he's going to be slowed by the poison. Chaos coming after the dwarfs, though. The great weapons getting into it. The chosen great weapons, of course. Gonna absolutely destroy all of this dwarf infantry. Unless they can weaken it enough with missiles first. Which they're kind of doing, but it's going to be close. And there's a lot of vampire infantry right behind as well, so... could be a tough one. Greenskins being pulled into only fighting a small amount of the enemy. So this lot is kind of just distracting. While these two armies come and ruin the dwarfs. So it could be that 2v1 situation. Willow going to lose his Black Knights. He's done some decent damage though to the Forest Riders. The Soul of Damnation has taken a pounding. The cannon is still in shape and there's one little Chaos Dwarf left. But I'm not sure he's going to make it. Some Dwarf artillery was shooting it. In return, what's he got? A couple of cannons. Yep. Dwarf cannons are pretty damn accurate. In comes all the vampire stuff though and Sarthariel. Greenskins needs to come over and help, which I think he is doing now. He got a little bit distracted by all the vampire stuff. They've taken out Grom as well. Seemingly Potato has lost his lord. Oh, it needs two dwarfs for the cannon? Drats. You're on your own, little buddy. You can do it. Just take that pointy hat and shove it up somebody. Sure you can find an orc that you don't like, although maybe a dwarf would be better. Manticore's in trouble. Two Manticores, one's already gone. So Greenskin's going to get rid of some good stuff. But he might find himself fighting a lot of chaos and vampires once he's done. Dragonback Slayer's getting shot down slowly. The Chosen starting to storm forward. They're going to be hard to stop for the dwarfs. There goes that one last Soul of Damnation. Poor little dwarf. Poor little dwarf. Brom's hanging in there. He's regenerating, so he'll come back to health as long as he doesn't take any more damage. Greenskins have arrived, though, to help out. Might be able to change things. We shall see. Willow's Vargeists still in good health. Probably been catching some heals. Dwarves are thoroughly overrun and slowly running out of juice. A lot of these units are really empty in health. A couple of good ones. Not so good. The greenskins are coming over quite heavy now. Oh, trying to jump on Willow's Lord on Manfred. He's down to half health, but he is in combat. Spawns up some zombies to help him escape, perhaps. Sartherial there to assist as well. Excuse me. So it's going to be a close one. Favor bar right in the middle. Oh! Look at this little trooper. He survived. Somehow he survived those forest goblins coming after him, and he's going to get some revenge. He's chasing them off. How has he done that? What an absolute savage. This guy's going to be a legendary lord in Warhammer 3, I hope. It's a monster. What a survivor. Welcome, Odd. Fanatic's doing some good damage. Whoa, damn goblin juice. Excuse me. There is quite a lot of greenskin stuff left. Perhaps they'll have enough juice. Especially if they can tie up Sartherial here and get rid of him. Manfred's running out of steam as well. Ho, ho, ho. Not all heroes wear capes, but stupid hats. Hey, is he still going? Here he is. Oh, you knock his hat. You worked hard on that. Let's see if he can survive the trolls. If he does, he's an absolute hero. Willow and Sartherial still together. Sonath's Lord. Welcome, Buster. Oh, Greenskin's leadership starting to fail them, perhaps. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, what spell's going off here? Oh, a big final transmutation upgraded. Oh. Ooh, that's always tasty. I'm not sure what it hit, or whether it hit it well. I think it hit Thoric a bit. Probably got Sartherial some points though. 3,500 now. Welcome, Doom. Oh, this one's a big blob. It looks like the favor bar is sneaking back the other way. It was going red. Now it's going yellow. Oh, scheisse. Little breath attack came in there. Maybe that with the final transmutation. The Lord power. Well, Sartherial's on his last legs though. 500 health. Woo hoo hoo. Woo hoo 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 hoo. Dwarfs hanging on. Thoric wavering though. If we can keep these trolls from coming back. They probably got it, but these trolls have still got a fair bit of health and they're regenerating. But there we go, they're broken. It's done. The deed is done. Good game, fellas. It was a fun one. It was close until the end. Could have gone either way. Ooh, let's have a look. So I have 3,700. Probably a lot of that coming from that upgraded transmutation at the end. That is a beefy spell, one of my favorites. Nice work from some of the Chosen. 2 units of Chosen doing pretty well. Bit of work from the Manticores. Willow, 3,000 for Manfred. Bit of work from the Great Weapons. Not a lot from the Kev. Not a lot from the Vargeist. Mostly Manfred doing the work there. Outer. Got some work from Thoric. Fairly spread out damage throughout his infantry. No real standouts apart from those dragon backs. So a little bit of work from everything in Outers army. I nearly said in Dwarf's army. Grom doing nice work. 2,000. 1,400 from the 8-peak loonies. Very nice. Spread out damage from the forest riders. Some of them doing well, some not so much. And the trolls doing some good work as well, actually. 2,000 damage from that one. Nice. Good game, fellas. Well played. Okay, how's about... we got any noobs? We got a couple of noobs for a noob battle? Maybe. Couple of noobos. Lycus, give me a good 1v1 map that we don't play all the time. Oh, Artyom's back. So I think Artyom's on the newer end of the spectrum. Kelp and Coal Dust. That's one we play sometimes. Any others? What else comes to mind? Because like I'm thinking about one of these Tarantula Coasts ones, but I'm not sure if they're good. Not really played them too much. Right, we got some noobs. I'm gonna give Ruster and Sonath a bit of a boot for now. Thanks for playing, fellas. We're gonna get a new battle going. We'll give Artyom a go. Just because we saw some mistakes from him in the free-for-all. His army was a little bit clumped up and blobbed up. He did move it a little bit, but stuff like that we can try and sort out. Frostmourne, you want to give it a go? He claims to be a noob. No others? Kelp and Coal Dust is all you've got? Jump in then, my man. Password is Raccoon Hat. Raccoon Hat. One word, lowercase. Raccoon Hat. This is the normal version of the game, not the Cav beta. Walking on it. I think he's trying to speak dwarf to us now. Doomsgate. I think that's a bit of a horrible map. Because it's like all just hilly in the middle. It's probably not a good one for trying to learn on. You need to switch? Okay, we need somebody else then. Who else said they're a noob? Finn? I forget who you are. You're one of those two-name bastards. How do you come up with password names? No, I just think of usually an animal and then a random word. Some kind of animal, random word. Isle of Crimson Skull, which I assume means crimson. Let's have a look. Isle of the Crimson Skull. Okay, that looks good. We'll give this a try. Thanks, Lycus. So if you're a noob and you're on the normal live version of the game, not the Cav beta, feel free to join. As long as you're a noob of some level. For all of men, that map doesn't exist. Yeah, Doomgate is it's a good map, but maybe just not a good one for like a couple of noobs trying to learn, you know? Because there's so many little hills. It's one of those ones that really catches people out with artillery and missiles when they think they have line of fire, but they don't, and then the unit starts moving, and then their artillery is like halfway across the map before they realize. It's one of those. Raccoon Hat, yes. Just like that, Charles. What difficulty setting did you test the new Cav patch? Just normal. What multiplayer is, essentially. If no one volunteers, I can substitute. You're welcome to have a go, man. First come, first serve. Whoever gets here first. If you're unsure if you're a noob, you're welcome to try out, and then we can tell you. There's usually a few good signs when someone is kind of a noob. I think the first most obvious things are formation and how well they move their army. Kyle Travis, I think that's Charles. Is that you, Charles? You got two different, like, full names. Kyle Travis, Charles Lister. I am many men. Yeah, we can do a couple of these, so if you don't get in this one, there will be other chances. We'll do a little bit of Battlefield 1 later, after a few more battles. Pick whichever factions you like, whichever ones you want to learn. Ready up when you get to go. This game is easier if you don't move your army. I disagree, actually. If you don't move your army, then you let the enemy make the choices. You let them dictate the pace of the battle. You dictate whether you sit there and let them surround you. It's actually honestly easier to move your army and be aggressive, I think. Otherwise, you've got to try and watch like 6 different angles at once. I think that's the common misconception with playing defensively. It sounds easier, and you'd think it'd be easier because you're not microing as much. But then you play the game of just reacting to everything the other guy does, and you can't react to everything he does. You're going to miss things, and then you fall behind, and then you lose. Usually. You were too slow? That's okay. Get the next one. That'd be me, both of them. Okay, Charles Kyle. Kyle. Too many names. I've never played multiplayer, but I've got 300 hours on campaign. Do you recommend multiplayer? I do recommend multiplayer. If you want to get the most out of Total War battles, then you have to play multiplayer. Because the AI is never going to give you the kind of real experience of fighting a battle. Because in campaign, you're not limited by anything. You can bring as many troops as you like. You can bring a super overpowered army, and you'll fight a mediocre army, and you'll win, and it's not really a battle. But in multiplayer, players are restricted to how much they can spend. They're restricted to what kind of units they can bring, or how many units they can bring and things. So it's more of a fair battle, which is where the fun of multiplayer is. Oh, so this is like... what's that other map that looks similar to this? It's a giant... Why can't we get one of those? It's like a super Dreadsaurian. Battlefield 1 on Twitch or YouTube. Shooters and stuff is always on Twitch. I pretty much only play Total War and maybe other strategy games on YouTube. That's generally the rule. Welcome, Milich. Whatever the hell you're saying. Okay, let's see what they do. So we've got Exalted Hero, Archaon, Forsaken up front for our Tiom. A couple of ogres of the dragony variety. Skavens coming out with the storm vermins all over the gaff. There's a hell pit. There's some rat ogres. There's a bit of artillery. Ickit on his doom wheel. More artillery. Bit of infantry. Some rattlings. Alright. Let's see what they got planned for these. Campaign always seems more about the macro game. Yeah, I mean, campaign you can kind of make armies as simple as you like. You can just make an army of 5 spearmen up front, 5 strong spearmen, and then just all artillery. Like, you can't do that in multiplayer. What do you think about Dreadsaurian prices? They're probably fine. You do kind of, they're just a unit that you need to build around. Like, you can't just bring a Dreadsaurian as like, oh, just bring a Dreadsaurian. It's like, okay, Dreadsaurian is my centerpiece. Everything else needs to work to make that effective. It's one of those kind of units. Is there a lag in the stream, or do you trust them not to stream snipe? Because they're both newer players, I don't think they'd know how to stream snipe. Like, other than, okay, he's put his Vanguard deployed units over here. But even then, like, it's not a big deal. With more experienced players, it probably is a problem because they can see where strong and weak parts of armies are and things like that. Anyway, wolves over here have been broken. They help it. So Charles needs to see the danger here. These are 2 anti-large units versus his 1. That help it is going to die. Front line's coming in though. Gonna get the counter charge. He does, just in the nick of time. He needs to get that help it out of there and try to save it if he can. Skaven, probably quite a hard faction to play as well. He's got his skirmish cav into melee on those. So you see how how Charles tried to play defensively for the most part with his artillery and his missiles, and now he's having to cover all these different angles of things coming at him. He's literally surrounded, everything from every angle. This is what happens when you play defensive. If you don't know what you're doing anyway, is you'll just get surrounded. And it's way harder to go, okay, I've got to deal with this, and then, oh, I've got to deal with this, and then, oh, I've got to deal with this. And you've got to look everywhere at once. Unless, of course, you're like playing up high and you have debug cam or something, but again, newer players obviously don't really do that. But this is the problem when you play defensive. You've got too many different directions to look. Whereas when you're the one calling the shots, you know where everything is. You know your front line is here, and you know what you're bringing around here and over here. You don't have to worry about anything coming behind you because you're the one playing aggressive. So you kind of almost have less angles to look at. You're just looking forward with all of your stuff. If that makes any sense. I hate how right you are. It's just a common misconception. I think it is like you would obviously naturally think, okay, sitting here and just hunkering down, turtling down, that's a safe and easy way to play. It's really not in multiplayer. If someone comes to, if you were sat here playing defensively and the other guy only came at you from this direction, didn't try to flank you, didn't try to come behind you, then yeah, it would be easy. Because you don't really have too much to micro or think about. You just have to stop what he throws straight at you. But when he starts coming around your flanks and behind you, then you're fucked, which is what any good player will do. So we lost, I think, the help it over here somewhere. Oh no, it's still alive. It's still hanging in there. But he needs to get away from this. So Charles needs to see that this is a bad matchup for him. This is not where his help it is really going to be too useful. Because Dragon Ogres, 2 units of Dragon Ogres, especially the Summoners of Rage, are going to mess it up. He's done some damage to the Dragon Ogres by all means, but his help it isn't great for this. His help it could be over here trying to take out the Lords and Heroes, because they are just a single target. This one's a little all over the place. I actually think it would be a mistake to have human level AI as a default in campaign. A lot of people aren't that good in battles. Just scare them away from the game. I don't think so. I think the problem with Total War is that the tutorials that it gives you don't teach you. They teach you like 5% of what you need to know about how to be any good at Total War. 5, maybe 10. But they don't teach you about formation. They don't really teach you about moving your army that effectively. They'll give you the basic controls for it, but they won't tell you how or why to use it. Or, they don't tell you about faction strengths and weaknesses. They just need some more solid tutorials. Obviously, they've got the Total War Academy thing, which I did some videos for, but it's not very well promoted in the game. I think it's up here. If you click on help pages. Okay, maybe not here. Maybe you have to do it on the main menu. But yeah, you can get to it from the main menu, but even then it's like tucked away. Welcome, Petey. This battle rages on anyway. It's actually quite a close one. Apparently it's looking good for the Skaven. Ikit and Archaon throwing down. Oh, he's got rid of the summoners. Maybe the Dragon Ogres. Yeah, that's it. That's why the AI is just... That's why it makes people, when they come from campaign to multiplayer, they play like they're playing in campaign, where the AI doesn't really flank you. And thus, when all this kind of stuff happens, they don't really know how to deal with it. Ikit's broken, though. It was looking slightly good for Charles just now, but if he loses Ikit, if Ikit gets run off the field, or killed, he is going to get run off the field. But, that'll probably hurt that Skaven leadership a lot. Although, there isn't really a lot left for the Chaos. He's lost most of his stuff. Got his Dragon Ogres back over here a little. Summoners. Not sure if he used his Chain Lightning. Didn't catch it. But yeah, I mean, Total War as a whole, it's going to push people away anyway. If you don't like complicated games, you probably shouldn't pick this up in the first place. But I think most strategy game players are those kind of people that enjoy that kind of stuff. So it shouldn't really scare people away. Welcome, Glitch. Archaon's still going. What spells does he have? He's got Burning Head. So if he could, like, round everything up, if he could round up all the Skaven stuff and trick it into all attacking Archaon just for a few seconds, and then get that big Burning Head through the middle of them, that'll be a GG. Ikit. Oh, Ikit's returned, but I don't think he's going to survive for long. The Exalted Hero is on him. He is wavering. He's probably going off the map. And that could be the game changer. Lord Fled penalty incoming for the Skaven. Now he just needs to hit Skaven and break them. Imagine the people who buy Thrones of Britannia as their first Total War. Yeah, that would be sad. If they try that and go, oh, this is dull and boring, I'm off. Pretty much every other game in the series is better. Ever leave your flank open on purpose to cast a net spell, then punish? Oh yeah. That's a classic. Sit there with your light wizard, get your handgunners ready or whatever. And then all turn their attention to the pinned unit. Blam. Kill a lot of lords that way. Overzealous lords. Many people like painting the map. Oh yeah, no, I know there's plenty of people that don't really like the challenge of things and don't want to take the time to sit and learn all the factions and all the units. I appreciate there's plenty of those kind of people. To be honest, it's probably most Total War players. Because most Total War players, from what I gather, I mean, I haven't done a survey or anything, but a lot of people like using Doom stacks and things like that. And they like playing that way. They just want to play for the fun of it, rather than play for the, you know, experience of having proper historical style battles. Which is fine, you know. Anyone's welcome to play the game however they like, but yeah, I think that people like me are probably a minority. Chaos looking like they're finally going to turn it around. This has been a long battle. He's got there. I tried to play Thrones. Apparently ships in naval battles when boarded lead to infinite staring contests. That game had naval battles? I didn't even realize. What I mean is that like if you if you gave people more the tools to understand the game easier and better, and you made them play like a really in-depth tutorial short campaign, like a 50-turn campaign that goes through literally everything in like details and is an interesting, well done tutorial, you get a lot more people that are more interested in playing the game that way. But because people don't know what they're doing and they can't take the time to learn, they're just like, whatever, Doomstacks, please. Good game, fellas. Let's have a little look at the replay real quick. Do you watch tariff videos? No. I don't really watch anybody's videos other than mine. No, not that I watch my videos. I only watch my videos when I go, oh, what did I say in that video? Oh, shit, I better check. That's the only time I ever watch my videos. So what do we have here? So we got some wolves. One of them getting a hold of these. So these wolves coming wide. They've got the artillery there if they want them. Let's see what went wrong for the Chaos, because they were looking pretty good early, but then they started to kind of lose it. So, little mistake here. So Rat Ogre's trying to chase Warhounds, which they're never going to catch. Warhounds have 95 speed, Rat Ogres have 60. Never going to catch them. So all that's happening here is that these Rat Ogres are getting out of position. Right, these Rat Ogres could stay over here, kind of defending this side, right? Just being a defense. So they could just turn and face the Warhounds and be ready for them. But chasing them is pointless, because you're not going to catch them, unless he makes a mistake. So those Rat Ogres should have stayed back here, just waiting to defend, because they can't catch these. No point trying to chase them. Just wait for them to come to you. Doggos over here tried to get a hold of these, but the Helpit came to the rescue. Frontliner Forsaken. I guess this is not a bad choice against Skaven, because these do hit very hard, Forsaken. But they only have 20 melee defense, so they're not very tough. If they get shot up too much, or hit by monsters, they don't really last too long. You see how he's outrun him now? He's outmaneuvered him. Oh, he's going to get a little tickle on him. And they might get pulled back if he doesn't notice. They do. But generally, this would be a better idea, like I say, to stay back here. He's got lucky in this case because he's missed the micro. But if you come out a little wider, he would have pulled these back and they wouldn't have been able to save this artillery. That artillery probably should be dead. So there's one little mistake from the Chaos. He's coming round. He's going into melee with his skirmish cav. Front lines are coming in, attacking the storm vermin. He's disrupting the missiles and artillery, which is good. So over here we had the Helpit. And two very strong anti-large units in the Dragon Ogres and the Summoners. This is something that the Helpit should have steered clear of. He really needed some halberds to help with this fight. Halberds are the perfect answer to this. The Helpit could be off over here doing something more useful. There isn't a lot of large to kill, but he could help with some of the Forsaken, or he could come over after Archaon or the Exalted Hero. But that is just a bad matchup for him. But the Storm Vermin holding off stuff well enough. He's got the Wolf Rats in there as well. Oh, little spell coming in. There's that Burning Head. Probably mostly melts his own units. So Burning Head is not very good against heavily armored stuff like Storm Vermin with 90 armor. It really didn't do that much to them. Just hurt his Forsaken more than it did his own boys. Did a good job of taking out those Ratlings early though. And again, charging the large units into the very strong anti-large units, bringing these Rat Ogres pretty much to their doom. So should have avoided that fight. Should have took some, swapped out some halberds. Bring some halberds over here. Bring some Rat Ogres over here and the Helpit over here and have them fight Forsaken. Bring the halberds over here and have them fight the Dragon Ogres. That would have been the play to make. But obviously that's just matchups, and obviously in the heat of things, it's easier said than done. But yeah, after this, think it's mostly a case of just forsaken breaking because they don't really last too long. Probably would have been better off with some cheaper infantry, just the good old marauders, and then maybe one unit of stronger anti-infantry, something armor piercing, some chosen perhaps, or maybe just some chaos warrior great weapons. But yeah, good game all the same, fellas. Well played. Let's get on with some other games. We'll be here all day otherwise. Okay, Z-Wars number 1, same password. Sad to get a strategy game where real strategy is not really that important. Yeah, I think that is what Total War's kind of become, though. But that's kind of how they've designed it, right? It's a watered-down version of previous Total Wars. It's much more accessible. That was always part of their design plan. And people just mashing monsters into other units and infantry, that's where the fun is for people. They don't really care too much about stats and stuff like that. Which is fair enough, yeah, but does lose some of the magic in my opinion. Who else we got wanting to play? We could do another Noob battle. There was a video saying the normal chaos won't get an update in Warhammer 3. I would say that's baseless. What evidence is there of that? You know? Who said that? Where did it come from? Was it a CA employee? It's just speculation, probably. Tariff is a meme man. Yeah, not a fan of that kind of stuff myself. I know it's quite popular though. Unit armies, yeah, there's no need for that really. Alright, Ruster and Doom, we'll take it. Play whichever factions you like. We'll do another Noob battle, then we'll get on to some more 2v2s or something. Maybe another free-for-all. Let's do... I don't know, Lycus, give me another map. Something we don't normally play. Who can micro 40 units? I mean, that happens in battle sometimes. When you take 2 full stacks into a battle, you will control them both. But yeah, it is often too much. Tour guard. Okay. Oh, this one's a bit... Doesn't it have like a big hill on one side? Tower of Hoeth we play all the time. When will you do shitpost like other YouTuber? I will not. It's not a style I understand. Those videos that are just loads of random things smashed together with random noises over the top. I don't know, is it supposed to be funny? I don't know. Probably just not my generation of thing. High Elves and Chaos, eh? You never saw the Dragon Ogres? I suppose they were hidden. I did forget about that. But it looked like you were charging towards them at some point, but... We'll try Tour Guard. We'll put some trust in the pig's map choosing abilities. If it's a bad map though, we'll ban him forever. Enjoyed that, thanks for the tips. Just not quick enough in reacting. Yeah, you did okay. You nearly turned it around. It's just his Lord and Hero, I think, became your problem in the end. I think maybe you just needed a little bit more just chaffy stuff, like some Skaven Slave, just to get in the way, and you could have chased off the skirmish calves and stuff like that. Here we go. Oh, Didn't put unit caps on. I'll turn it on now, but it should be fine. Hopefully. No one's bringing 3 dragons. Here we go. Let's see what these noobos have to offer. Ooh. Okay. So this one, it's not too bad. It's a little bit of a hill elevation for this side, but only a little bit. It's pretty even in the middle of the battlefield though, so that's fine. It's only when you get down here, like, is it low ground. Although you could sit up here if you were playing defensive. Yeah, even enough. It's a nice map to look at. Yeah, but you can come through the forest. Yeah, I suppose so. Get a little bit of forest to hide in over here. Although that can work both ways. I suppose you could sit up on the high ground over here as well. So they both got high ground. Or you could sit right up here. Fight on this horrible little tree part of the map. Sit up there with some dwarf artillery. Can you actually get up there? Gladiators, ready! Here we go. Okay. Ruster coming out with Chaos Marauders, some Forsaken, the Weird Spawn, Great Weapon, Chosen, Archaon. I feel like Chaos needs some Lord mix-ups, because Archaon feels like it's the only Lord you ever see. Occasionally Sigbold, but usually Archaon. I guess we saw Sartherial earlier. Some skirmish cav as well. So pretty infantry heavy for the Chaos. Not a ton of mobility. No Dragon Ogres, no Shaggoth. Not a lot of anti-large. Might be a concern because there is a Dragon. Star Dragon as well. Toughest dragon. Big boy dragon. Silver Helms, White Lions, White Lions, White Lions. So bringing the armor piercing up front. Techless. Some Lothan boys. Let's see how it goes down. A little cover from the trees. Chaos Marauders going to soften things up for the big boys. Is this the beta patch? No, this is the normal live version. CA should really improve the multiplayer maps, minor settlements, etc. Yes, hopefully they will. They are working on sieges in some fashion, so they said. Hopefully that'll include minor settlements and things. Because minor settlement battles were cool in like older Total Wars. But in Warhammer 2, they're not really minor settlement battles at all. They're basically land battles with a settlement in the background. Breath attack on a moving target. Somebody needs to watch my Secrets of Dragons video, because that was a big waste. You only get 3 of those, and one of them is now done zilch. So front line, White Lion's probably going to struggle with the Chosen and the Great Weapons as time goes on. Nice flank with the Demon Spew here. Little convocation of fire or whatever it's called. Cav putting some charges on the Forsaken. Really enjoyed the Troy maps. Some nice elements. Yeah, Troy had great maps, but it was partly because of the mechanics that they had with all the mud and trees that could be hidden in and stuff like that, which obviously Warhammer doesn't have. But yeah, I would be interested to see if they borrowed some of the Troy team map designers and let them design a few Warhammer maps. What they'd be like. That would be certainly curious, because yeah, Troy does have some great maps. It's one of its strong points. But infantry basically smashing in here, getting a little clumped up. Some nice magic spells could put an end to some of these boys. Or breath attack. Look at this. Look at this. Melted chaos everywhere right there. That's chosen. And great warrior and great weapons as well. Chaos warriors. That's a breath attack waiting to happen. Is he going to do it? Here he goes. Nice bit of damage on those two. Didn't quite land too well. He probably wanted to come from more this angle, perhaps. But, I mean, they're kind of, like, circular now, so it's kind of hard to aim that one. I think they were lined up like this. But now they've kind of come around. Teclis in there. Going in after Archaon with the dragon. A burning head. Not really sure what that's aimed at. The silver helms, again, lots of armor on the silver helms. That isn't going to do that much. Burning head is really for light armor, for killing lightly armored stuff. Doesn't do so well against heavy armor. Dragon getting harassed by doggos and Archaon. Might be able to take to the skies again, though. As I said, the Chaos is lacking in its armor, in its anti-large. But it seems to be getting some good damage on the dragon. A breath attack on these. Bit of a waste again, really. Because the dragon breath attacks are like this shape, most of that missed. And also this unit's half dead. If he was going to do that, he should have done it to this unit, at least because it has more health and more units to hit. Those breath attacks, honestly, can be game changers. You just got to set yourself up so you can get like a full line. Like if you're going to hit these, you'd hit them nice. High Elves not out of it yet. Not out of it yet. If they could break Archaon, it'd probably be an easy win from there. Chaos units very beaten up. Dragon wavering though. Oh, it's going to be another burning head. It's against Chosen though. Oh no, it's a convocation. 5,000 health of Chosen down to 3,500. So nice bit of damage on that. At 1,500. Did some good work on those Chosen. Is it enough though? Possibly not. Not a lot of high elf stuff left. Welcome, Skulls. Teclis still on the field. Archaon in pursuit, though. Oh, how is Archaon faster than Teclis? 78 speed. Teclis is only 78 speed? Okay. I mean, looking at the size of Archaon and his horse and all the metal on him, and considering how lightly armored Teclis is, you'd think he'd be a bit faster. Is Archaon's horse still too small for him? Kind of looks a little bigger. Still looks too small for him, but he is bigger than his own horse. I think that's going to be all she wrote for the High Elves. Good game though, fellas. Anyone else waiting to play? Try and figure out what we do next. Could be a free-for-all, could be a 2v2. Could do 2 noobs and 2 pros in a 2v2, perhaps. Teclis should be super slow lord even on Pegasus, because in lore he hated riding horses and boats. Oh really? What do you know? Fueled by rage. I'd like to play one more as I have to go in 40 minutes. Okay. Thanks for playing, fellas. Good game. Let's just have a quick look at the replay. See if there's anything we can pick out in particular. So, as an army, this is kind of assuming that the Chaos are going to have all heavy infantry, which he did have some of in this case. But given how expensive everything is on the High Elves, maybe you just wanted... I don't know, High Elves are kind of difficult, aren't they, right now? I mean, it's not a bad plan by any means. But you probably needed like some cav or something just to try and soften up the Chaos Marauders and get rid of them quick. So that you could have more of a clean fight with the actual tough stuff. The Chosen and the Chaos Warriors. You had the Silver Helms. So those Dragon Breaths, as I said, they could have done a lot more, I think. So when you're looking for targets for those Dragon Breaths, you want to just look for the best units on the enemy army. In this case, infantry. These Chosen, mixed in with Marauders as well. That's a great target for a Dragon Breath. Or the Great Weapons. Not sure what happened to these. I guess they went on skirmish. Little micro error here. Forsaken getting charged. And what's missing for the High Elves here, I think, is any kind of hammer and anvil. There's a lot of situations here to hit hammer and anvil, but there's nothing to do it with. There is the bit of cav, but they're fighting Forsaken. So maybe the cav should have looked for that instead, and these could have taken out these Forsaken, these White Lions. Because there's all these hammer and anvil opportunities just waiting. Even the dragon could do it to some degree. Could have dropped a breath attack there, had that opportunity. So this is Burning Head maybe? No, it's a Convocation. I think these land pretty well. Yeah, that does some nice damage. And hits this unit a little bit too. So that's nice. It's a nice shot. So he's broken a lot of the Chaos stuff here quite early. Broken these great weapons. Although broken on this side. Pins these and gets on them. That's nice. It's nice. It's nice. What spells did he have? Had Regrowth, Enfeebling Foe, Fair Choices, and the Net. So opts to heal the Silver Helms. I feel like Regrowth is probably just, if you're going to bring a dragon, just save all of your Regrowths for the dragon. I feel like. Unless those were in better health and there was more of them alive, maybe it'd be more worthwhile with Silver Helms, but... yeah, just maybe a little more hammer and anvil would have helped out the High Elves, and using those breath attacks. See here, it's not quite the angle. You can see how this breath attack, they're kind of shaped like this. And so you're really only hitting like a small portion of the unit, and the rest is kind of going over here, hitting a few bits and bobs. But if you hit it from like this angle, or this angle, you kind of get all of this stuff. Or from, I guess, you got a little bit unlucky because it could have hit here, then you would have kind of got a better shot of it. So it's kind of just unlucky. But it depends which unit you aimed at, I guess. But yeah, breath attacks can certainly be a game changer. Anyway, let's play some more games. Okay, we'll do Z-Wars number 3 now. Sorry, 2. So look for number 2, don't join 1 or no Z-Wars. Let's do a 2v2. See if we can get 2 pros and 2 noobs. 2 pros and 2 noobs. Burning Head felt useless here with the armor. Yeah. Yeah, Burning Head's like good for Skaven, maybe good for Bretonnians, good for Empire, Greenskins. But stuff that packs a lot of armor generally, like the Chaos. Although you often see like Marauders, but then it's like, is it worth Burning Heading Marauders? Because they're not that strong anyway. Okay. I'm not sure who's who in terms of skill. We got Willow as one of the better players. Frostmon, who said he was a noob earlier, so that's one team sorted. White Wolf and Fluxen. Is one of you a noob? One of you a pro? Or both noobs? What do we got? If one of you can drop out now, we can put you in the next game, so fear not. If you are both noobs, that is. I've watched the Dragon video a few times. I know it all, but applying it as a game is a different story. Yeah, true enough. In the heat of stuff, it's just about positioning the dragon. And not rushing it. Like, there's no rush to use your breath attacks. Like, you can try and get that nice position. And then just poof. Just never use it on a moving target. That's the biggest thing. I think he tried to use it on Archaon at first. That's always a bad idea. Especially on a small target like Archaon. If he was sat still, you probably would have hit him quite well. But when he's on the move, he's just going to mostly miss. I haven't played multiplayer much, but I have played campaign a lot. I haven't played in a while, a bit rusty. Okay. Alright, I guess we'll give this a shot. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Let's try nice and simple Björnling's Gathering. Nice big map. Play whoever you like. Which lord is best against every faction? Oof. It really just depends what the lord can do. Some lords are kind of just good against every faction. Some lords have traits and stuff that make them good in certain situations. Like Archaon being good against vampires because he has fire and magic damage. So that's useful for fighting vampires. But that doesn't matter so much for, say, fighting greenskins. Although it does matter somewhat for trolls and stuff. What do you play, campaign or multiplayer? Both. Vampire Coast and Tomb Kings versus some elves. Practice, practice, practice for the muscle memory. And he was still when he activated it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that can be the risk. That's why it's good to use them on like targets that are engaged fighting, because then you know they're probably not going to move out of the way. Or if you really want to go like super deep into strategy of that kind of thing, you can try to give the enemy lots of stuff to look at so that you know he's probably going to be microing something else when you do that attack. So you can like save your spells for when there's a lot going on and then use them when he won't have a chance to probably move. Because if you try to use like a burning head spell on a completely fresh stationary army that hasn't actually engaged in battle yet, he's going to see it because he's got nothing else to do and he's going to move out the way of it. So it's a waste. But if you do that in 2 minutes time when the battle's full going on, he probably might not catch it, you know. So there's that kind of real world strategy you could play. Is this guy busy enough that he won't notice this spell that I'm gonna do? Ready up when you're good to go, fellas? Should Igid's workshop add unique regiments of renown with mortars and grinders? I don't really know. I don't play campaign enough to really know those kind of questions, the answer to those kind of questions. Campaign to me is like nothing really matters. You can make anything as strong as you like. Blah, 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 blah. What kind of secrets did you find in Warhammer? Not sure what you mean. I think there's a few Easter eggs around. I think most of the secrets in this game is just how the game works. That's why I've tried to make the videos on it. But now I'm not allowed to anymore, basically. Legend is the opposite of you. Many people are the opposite of me. It's all good. Fluxen ready. Does the old world even have Easter? Good question. What are we doing? A song with the... I think Fluxen's making a song for us. Okay. Oh, it stopped. Just a chorus. I like the reference to Drachenfels. Yeah, if you listen to... there's a few Vermintide references, I think. If you listen to Empire units like Halberdiers or Swordsmen, you hear them say, "Oh, where's Kruber these days?" So there's like these little references to Vermintide, which is cool. What do you mean not allowed? Oh, when they said about the secrets thing. So when I still want to do some more secret videos, but those secret videos, I had a dev that I spoke to that gave me a lot of that information, because there's so many questions. Like there's various ways you can look it up, like yourself. You can, I can, without having to speak to any devs, and you can figure a lot out. But I had a dev that would help me with it. But then he said that he's not allowed to speak to me anymore because they're standardizing the way that we speak to members of CA or something. I don't know, some weird thing. Even though I'm like trying to help people understand their game, he's not allowed to help me anymore, basically. What about the Uberstrike 5 in game? They could be heroes. Alright, let's see what this battle's got for us. 2v2, what was it? High Elves and Wood Elves versus Tomb Kings and Coast, I think it was. So we'll probably do maybe this game and then one more, and then we're going to move on to some Battlefield 1 for today, I reckon. Suddenly you two knew too much. No, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if it was just like coincidence that they decided that. To be honest, I think it was just part of them. I don't know how to say it without telling you things you're not supposed to know. I guess just trying to make it more fair for everyone that plays the game and makes content on the game and things like that. It's like if I have access to a dev that I can speak to about stuff about the game, and every other YouTuber doesn't have that access, then it's like unfair or something. Even though it's not like that at all. It's just like I started speaking to him, and then I asked him questions, and he was quite happy to tell me about it all. And he said he wanted people to know this stuff to make the game more transparent. And I was happy to make the videos, like I wanted to do it anyway, because that's what I was speaking to him for in the first place. And he was happy to give me the info. So it was a, you know, mutually beneficial transaction. And he liked the videos. So, you know, what was wrong with it? Helping everybody learn the game better. Helping everyone understand the game. But hey-ho. I was going to ask somebody about it and be like, there's no reason that no other YouTuber can talk to him about stuff. They just don't want to because they don't really care about the stats and whatever, or the, you know, the secret stuff. But they can do if they want to. so why can't I? Have you ever played Rainbow Six Siege? Yes, I played it quite a lot. I think I've got about, I don't know, let's have a look, 60 hours? 74 hours on PC. I used to play it on Xbox as well. So yes, I've played a fair bit. And what do you think about the game? I haven't played it for a while, so I don't know how much it's changed, but it's a fun game. I like those kind of shooters, like one-life shooters. It's quite fun. But it is, obviously, has a little bit of problem with cheaters and things nowadays. But I guess it's getting better, I don't know. Like I say, I haven't played it much for a while. We had a little stint on it a few months ago. Maybe like last year, actually. I don't even know. It's a while. It was a while ago. Games Workshop is rolling off on them. This was a while ago, to be honest. This was before the Games Workshop stuff that's going on now, you know. This was maybe like 6 months ago or so. So they said I can't make stuff anymore. The last one I did, the Dragon Secrets video, that one I had to do mostly by myself. So I didn't get any help from him with that one. So that's kind of where it stopped. Is there any way to get secret units in the game? I don't know what you mean. There are no secret units. You can see stuff in if you go, if you have access to the you will have access to it. If you go onto your Steam and enable your tools, you'll have the assembly kit for Warhammer 2. In there is where you can find a lot of that information, like all the stats and secret stats, and you can find information on that they were thinking about doing naval combat for this game, because there's a load of naval units named. There's no like unit cards or anything. There's just units named, like orc, boat, so-and-so. And so you can see that they thought about it, but they didn't actually obviously go ahead with it. Anyway, we've gone off on a tangent to the battle. Willow as the Wood Elves. Got some spears, got some Way Watchers, some Dryads, Draka, lots of missiles. So fairly aggressive tree-based army, as we would expect from Willow. Nice to see him using his people properly. Tomb Kings, Skeleton Warriors up front, bunch of missiles. They're getting wavered already though. There is a Cambrian on the field and a Necro Sphinx. They might want to look alive. High Elves coming in with Rangers, bunch of Archers, Loth and Seaguard. Vampire Coast chilling at the back with Queen Bess. Is she gonna land? She is, pretty nice. Does hurt some skeletons in the process though. This is a big battle. Look, I can't see anything. Here comes the flank though from the Cav of the High Elves. Can he sneak in? Can he use the phallus? No, he's going to go straight into those. Oh, you and God of War, Ryan. I don't even have a PS5. Much to my, you know, I'm trying to get one. I don't want to get extorted for it though. I mean, a lot of the information is like it's not that secret. Like they gave me an alternative, which I've used a little bit, because there's a modding Discord. So like where all the modders hang out and talk about their modding and talk about the game. They know just as much about the game as the dev that I spoke to did. So I can ask them, but I have to do it publicly, which I don't really like, because then kind of my videos get somewhat spoiled if anyone's watching, because anyone can join it. It's a public Discord, so if you want to know any secret stuff about the game, you can go in those modding places and ask. This battle is just it's just so much going on. I can't even see where to start. I'll try and show you the see if I can find the naval units for Warhammer. I think I remember where they are. Tyrion on the field. Aranessa on the field. On a Vampire Fleet Captain. With the death. Cambrian War Sphinx not in a great way. Willow still got some ammo left. His Waywatchers and stuff a bit beaten up though. Probably be able to take down that Cambrian if he starts firing again, which he now is. His Waywatchers not on skirmish. Looks like Willow is opting to manually skirmish his boys, which is hurting him at the moment. Mongol Haunter is a cool model. Is there one on the field? Maybe I missed him. Some Sirens getting in there. Man, this one's just a big jumble of units. It feels like literally every army is everywhere. Tomb King's got a little bit left. About to lose their Kemrian though. Tomb King Lord. Not in the best of ways. Necro Sphinx on the waiver. Favor bar sneaking over to the Elf side as the Tomb Kings fall, and I can't even remember the other faction. They look like they're completely gone. The Vampire Coast have disintegrated. It's a G. Good game, fellas. Even though I kind of missed it. I was blabbering on. Bones and chat for undead. I believe it's what's known as a fustercluck. Sounds like an apt description. Good game, fellas. Okay, one more. How do we finish? How about a free-for-all? An auto-generate free-for-all. Yes. That I like the sound of. Anyone waiting to play? If so, I can boot these clowns out. Let's make it extra horrible and do auto-generate on the Warpstone Crater. Actually, no, fuck it. Let's try and make it a better battle. Better battle. Let's go wreck 2 pools. We didn't play this one too much. Can you play another? Yeah, you can stay in there for now. Right, we got a couple more waiting to play though. See you later, Willow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. Enjoy your weekend. Unit caps have to be turned off for this one, for auto-gen to work. Okay, we got Odd, we got Akbar. Somebody said... Okay, those are the people that said they wanted... Oh no, San Severino said he wanted to play. I'm gonna boot White Wolf. Sorry, White Wolf, just because you've played once or twice before, I think. And Frostmourne has only played the one game, I think. Sans, we'll give you a spot. So Akbar, I think, might be currently undefeated in free-for-alls. I don't know how many he's played. So yeah, choose which faction you want to play. But don't choose your army yet, because we're going to change faction and then change back, so we know that everyone's all changed at the same time. And they've not just chosen their army, sort of thing. Okay, Sans arrived. Okay, change to the faction that you wish to play now. Take a few seconds, make a choice. Yeah, sorry, White Wolf, just trying to get everyone in. I know you and Frostmourne had only played a game each, I think, but I don't think Frostmourne has played before. Maybe? Okay, is this everyone's faction? Everyone happy? I'll give you last 10 seconds. Change your mind if you wish. Odd still making a choice. White Wolf, please don't deploy your army inside another next time. Yeah, that can Sometimes people like that. They like playing in like two armies inside each other together. But some people don't want to do that. They kind of come with a plan to play with their army. People do that to me sometimes. I just move away. Okay, everyone ready? We'll assume everyone's ready. Okay, everyone change to Beastmen. And then what you're going to do is change back to the faction you are now. And then hit auto-gen once. Hit start battle. If you take too long to do that, then I'm going to assume that you're hitting auto-gen over and over again, trying to get a army that you like. And that's just cheating. So we don't want that. Okay, on my go, everyone change, and then auto-gen, start battle. 3, 2, Akbar's done already. 1, go. Akbar did it pretty quick, so he's fine. As long as you change to your faction and ready up quick, it doesn't really matter if you do it together or not. Frostmourne, boom, quick, odd, quick, Sands, quick. Let's do it. Let's see what we got. Might get some, someone might get lucky with some OP campaign exclusives. We'll see. Never done a 2v2 before. Yeah, some people like to do that. Again, I think it's a safety thing. I think people are like, oh, I'm scared. Like when they play defensive and they just play dwarfs. It's like a, I'm slightly scared of this, but I'm going to play thing. And it's the same thing with 2v2s. Just hiding behind the other army and hoping that they win it for you. Just got to get in there yourself, man. Give it a go. You might fuck it up, but you might crush your enemies. Ogre load and no caster. At first glance, my army looks like garbage. You mean you didn't get dwarfs with a Slayer army again by luck? You didn't bring much of a front line. That is the Vampire Coast way, unfortunately. Yeah, if you're going to play like that, if you're going to play inside another player, I think you really need to plan it that way. Like, both of you need to go, okay, you bring this unit, you bring that unit. And then maybe you don't bring a front line at all as Vampire Coast, and you just bring loads of missiles and artillery. And then your ally brings more of a front line to make up for your lack of a front line unit. But like I say, you have to plan it. Okay, let's take a look at this Empire army. This is San Severino. He's got some Outriders. Oh, he's got a campaign exclusive. Gunderman's Surefires. I have no idea what they do. They have Vanguard Deployment, Stalk. Oh, they have Vanguard Deployment. I guess maybe that's their thing. They're otherwise just handgunners. He's got a lot of missiles. He's got a bunch of spears. Got some. Oh, he's got the Caribou great swords. Great swords. Unbreakable great swords. Nice. Got some halberds. Some demigriffs halberds. Got a Hellstorm. Got a General of the Empire. No caster, though. But that's not too bad of an army. It's a fairly balanced army. He's got a bunch of cav missiles. Infantry. Let's take a look at Odd. He really does have an ogre party. He's got dual weapon ogres, dual weapon ogres, all the ogres. Got some blade singers though. He's got Orion. He's got Deepwood Scouts. He's got a bit of cav. So again, he's got a nice, fairly I don't want to say well-rounded, but a rounded-ish army. Greenskins for Frostmourne. What's he got? Boys. Got some ogres. Got some skirmish cav. Got some Crimson Killers. Got a couple of snot wagons, or whatever they're called. Azag. Azag on Wyvern. That's pretty lucky. That's a pretty nice lord to have. Orc boar chariots. Spiders. Not a bad army. Not a bad army. And for Akbar, he's got a bunch of Saurus. That doesn't look too bad. He's got some Temple Guard. Got a bunch of Chameleons. Some Skirmisher Skinks. Some Flyers. Red-Crested Lord, probably not so good. Got a Revivification Crystal, Ancient Settlement. Hey, that could be worse. That could be worse. Could have used a Dread Saurian or two, but you know. And we're back to the start. Okay, let's see what happens then. Auto-gen free-for-all. So this map, even though it might not look like it so well, this is all blocked off. There's a big river running through the middle. So there's choke points here to come across. Over here. You can get around that way, but otherwise you can't pass this, I don't think. This is multiplayer. It's very hilly as well, this map. I didn't realise it was so hilly in some areas. Judging by army composition, I feel like Wood Elves are going to have a hard time. Empire could do alright if he uses all his stuff well. He's got some good units there. I think Lizardman's not too bad either. They got all the Saurus and the Temple Guard. Got a few large bits. Got some mobility, some missiles. Greenskins. I feel like Greenskins isn't really strong in any particular area. They got some Black Orcs, I guess. And the Crimson Killers. They got some strong units, but not really superior anywhere. We shall see. Oh, someone's Vanguard deployed some Goblin Spider Riders, and they are straight off the map. 3 points for Akbar there, although a fair amount of points actually for Frostmourne. He did some damage with those, hurt some skirmishers. Any more Vanguard deployment fun? So the Empire going after the Lizards. But the Wood Elves are going after the Empire. Oh dear. We're going to have some Benny Hill shit. They're going to be chasing them. And they're going to be chasing them. And then the Lizardmen are probably going to be chasing them. Luckily, the Greenskins are breaking the pattern. Otherwise, we might just have 4 armies running around the map in a circle. So ogres, they look hard, but you know, dual weapon ones are okay. The cheapest ones are pretty crappy though. These ones, they'll probably break pretty quick. What's the Chick-fil-A equivalent in Britain? I don't know. Oh, little Hellstorm action. Lizards and Greenskins clash. Azag taking some damage. Got to be careful with all those flyers actually. Getting some missiles on them though. These Ripidactyls need to do something. They're a melee unit. They can take out these missiles. Chase off some of these snot wagons. Purple Sun comes in. Not sure how much that did. Sad chicken. What would be a decent army comp for the Empire against Wood Elves? Lots of cavalry. Lots and lots of cavalry. Because you can harass all their missiles. Wood Elf Cav isn't very good at taking charges. Because it's all light in armor, so if you hit it with some even Empire Knights or Reichsguard, even Demigriffs, you'll hurt those pretty well. Yeah, I'd say pretty cav heavy. Grenade Outriders would do a lot of good work as well against their light infantry. The front lines clash. Some spears getting in the way. They're going after the great swords though. General of the Empire there to help with the ogres. Ogres a bit shot up already though. The eagle has flown straight in. The eagle has landed, but is being shot. So that's unfortunate for Odds Eagle. Straight away gone. Those Gunderman's surefires, not messing around. Oh, it does have some wild hunters. Very nice Kev. If he uses them, of course. Crazy Panda is the hero this day, but how do my British friends enjoy cheap fried chicken? What? Don't know, I'm not sure how many fried chicken outlets we have, other than KFC. Which probably isn't even chicken. Back over here, Akbar looks like he's getting the better of things. Black Orcs, not sure what they're chasing. Welcome, Def. Yeah, we don't have too many chicken establishments. Nando's, I suppose, but I guess that's probably worldwide. But Nando's isn't that great in my opinion. In my personal opinion. Not that I'm any kind of food connoisseur. Greenskins routing and running away. Akbar looking good. He's got the most points at the moment. He's beating down those green boys. And it looks like the Empire... Oh, well, it looked like the Empire were doing well over here, but I think this Cav might be changing some things. A lot of anti-large for the Empire, though, which I think is the problem for the Wood Elves here. Ogres and Cav versus Halberds. That's not a good fight for the Wood Elves. Empire looking good on this side. Although Sand's not so high in the points. Akbar finishing off the greenskins. But what does Akbar do now? Akbar's got a lot left. He's still got his salamander. Still got a skink chief in good health. He could be tough to stop at this point. If these two continue beating each other down. They're British. They don't enjoy anything. They just tolerate it. Shut up. You've never heard of Nando's? You don't have Nando's over there? Maybe it's just a Europe thing. You have the taste buds? Oh my god. No, I'm not a big foodie, to be honest. I just like food simple. Like if I'm making like chicken and rice or something, I'll make it like chicken, throw a few herbs on it, rice, throw a few herbs on it, throw some mixed veg in there, done. But my girlfriend will put like fucking garlic and all these oils and all kinds of crazy shit. I'm like, fuck me. Just put some herbs on it and shut up. Eat it. Fucking eat it. I'm like quite simple. I don't like cooking, so I'm like whatever's quickest. Well, within reason, that's not like just like ready meals or something. I don't want to eat ready meals. But if it's quick, saves me time so I can get back to making some videos. That's life. Oh, bit of a freeze. I feel like Akbar is going to take this one again. I feel like these two are going to beat each other up a lot, which means they're not going to have a lot left to deal with everything that Akbar has left, which is quite a lot. 43 Nando's locations in the US. Oh, there you go. Where have you been? Where have you been, Darth? I mean, like I say, Nando's is average in my opinion. This one turning into a bit of a shootout. A lot of missiles flying around. Bit of infantry left. The first one opened in 2008, so they are new here, still. Somehow Darth has never come across a Nando's in 12 years. Or 13 years. Nearly at the end of 2021. Weird. So Akbar still got his Salamander, still got his Bastillodon, still got his Lord and his Flyers in pretty good health. Still got his Temple Guard. Yeah, I mean, it's probably GG. It's probably GG for these two. They're beating each other up too much. Yeah, no, just not much of a cooking fan myself. I guess I'm too logical with it. It's like, why spend an hour making a meal, which you're going to spend 10 minutes demolishing? Meh. "47 states, 0 locations." Oh wow, weird. It's very strange, isn't it? Like, why would you not expand? Very strange. You know what? You can have it. You can take it. You can have Nando's. Oh, everyone in 10,000 points here. Like I say, I think Akbar is going to come over and steal the show and win the last man standing bonus. But we'll see. Maybe somebody can pull something out. Akbar sends over his Flyers. Try and get him a few points. I mean, San Severino is pulling a little bit ahead. So he needs to be careful that San Severino doesn't get too far ahead in points. But I don't think he'll be able to, unfortunately, for him. They're waiting for public order to stabilize. That's probably true. Maybe there's a chicken shortage. USC is basically a free-for-all. So I hear. There is an everything shortage, true enough. As I think about my 3080 that I ordered back in October. One day I'll get it. Oh! Akbar losing his Lord, potentially. Probably be nothing to chase him off, though. All this talk about chicken, I want some chicken now. Somebody bring me a bucket. Chicken bucket. Orion on his last legs. There's a man just taking their time, just casually strolling over. Oh, we're supposed to be better go and finish this battle then. Fuck, you know. Just want to go home and eat some fried chicken, said the Saurus warrior. Just plodding along. Just recovering, getting some stamina back. They know they don't need to rush, or do they? I don't know. Akbar's still getting a few points here and there with his Flyers. Few skirmishers arrive. Only 7 minutes left of this one. Is it going to run out of time? Wait, what? You will lose if time runs out. I'm going to lose? Apparently, I'm going to lose if time runs out. I'm not even in the fucking battle, but I'm going to lose. Brilliant. So don't let time run out. I don't want to lose, guys. Let me win. I need to win. I win by participating. Some of that bullshit. It's the participation that counts. No, it isn't. Akbar speeding up a bit now. They really want that fried chicken, so they're in a hurry now. Right, let's just get this done and we can go home quicker. Less than 7 minutes until we lose. Hey, if I lose, chat loses too. We're all losing together. Anybody hear about in the Olympics? In the karate for the Olympics. I don't know what weight class it was or anything. But in the final, the men's final, 2 guys fought for the gold in the final. One of them knocks the other guy out. And the guy that got knocked out won the gold. Because the other guy got disqualified for knocking him out. What? This is... what? It's karate. People get knocked out. He hit him too hard and he got disqualified. And thus didn't get the gold. What? Who made that rule? They need to learn to do some karate. Ridiculous. Imagine losing like that. Imagine winning like that. Would you want that medal? Like, okay, I got knocked out and I won the gold. I didn't really earn it though. Give it to him. I mean, should probably just concede at this point, but you know. My small greenskin's brain. So you think that was good? You think that was the right call, Dingo? You think the guy that gets knocked out should win the gold? Come on now. Oh, most of the karate stuff is like a dance anyway. It's barely a martial art. Good game, fellas. Akbar, undefeated in free-for-alls today. Who knew? He was a pro. He may be a bit of a noob at the 1v1s, but put him in a free-for-all, he's an absolute savage. Well played. Good game, fellas. I don't think it's not like the guy necessarily swung as hard as he could to try and knock the guy out. Like, people get knocked out by the tiniest punches sometimes. They don't have to be big, like, haymakers. You just hit somebody right on the chin with not a lot of force. Done. It's not about losing control. It's just coincidence that you hit them in exactly the right place with just enough force. Doesn't have to be big full force. Exactly. Being disqualified for kicking too hard or punching too hard. I don't know how it exactly happened, but look just like Paddy Pimblett. I don't think I do. I've not got like that 80s hair or whatever he's got going on. I was DQ'd in Florida, I think, state championship for knocking my opponent's headgear with the judges table. That sounds... How can you get disqualified for that? So if it hadn't gone over the judges' table, would you have not been disqualified? It landed on the floor. Yeah, there's some weird rules, man. Weird rules out there. Karate chopping too hard. And half of the stuff they get marked on is like the katas. I used to do karate when I was a kid, right? When I was like 10, 12, up to around then, I did karate. And you have to do the katas, where it's just basically like a dance. It's like a karate dance. You have to follow the moves in order, one by one, and do them with technique. And they had to do that in the Olympics as well. It's like it's dancing. It's not really fighting. Come on now. Faking knockouts. Yeah, that you could do, actually. It's a good point. Pretend you got knocked out and then win a gold. Anyway, we digress from Warhammer onto random knockouts. Cool, we're going to go play some Battlefield now, I think. Thanks for watching. If you came for the Total War stuff, hope you enjoyed it. See you in the future if you don't wish to come and watch the Battlefield stuff. If you do, though, we're going to move over to Twitch. Is Solo Stuff around? I'm not sure if I've seen them. If not, you can find the Twitch in the link. No, you can find the link to Twitch in the description of this here stream. I think it should be the right one. You might need to add the HTTP on the front. I can't remember. Cool, we're going to move over. Thanks for watching, people. See you in the bizzle if you're coming over.